It's Woody Akademiks, and check it out, because I am surprised each and every time by the lack of knowledge by the casual fan. Now, most of these people who claim they love the culture, they love a particular artist, and they're probably online defending them to death, they really don't keep up with them, okay? They just constantly dick ride and just go along with everything that's going on. Now, there's news coming out today, which is not news at all. It's really 2 years old, but it's being rehashed in light of everybody making accusations at Drake for stealing shit. Now, The Weeknd did an interview with Rolling Stone, and pretty much they used his comments from 2 years ago. 2013, and they kind of brought up his feelings about Drake. Now, if you guys don't know the story, right? The Weeknd was rolling with Drake. Drake was bringing him all around the world, this, that, and third, and he helped create the sound that was Take Care. Now, to me, that's Drake's best album, okay? Now, essentially, when he spoke about Drake 2 years ago, he said, I gave Drake half of my album. So half of my album went to Drake, and Drake used that for his album. So essentially, I don't know if you want to call it ghostwriting, collaborating, but pretty much The Weeknd was a big part of Take Care. But all Drake's true fans know that. A lot of people still don't, though. Now, it's all relevant today because people are wondering if Drake is really just quote-unquote riding waves or quote-unquote trying to steal the light from other people. And even seeing Quentin Miller last night come out on stage singing 10 bands and then hear people talking about him stealing dances. I'm talking about Drake. People are now wondering a lot of shit about Drizzy, okay? Now, in 2013, and by the way, let me just explain the breakup, right? So pretty much Drake was under the understanding once The Weeknd started picking up some steam that The Weeknd was going to sign to OVO. Apparently, because OVO was about to be under Cash Money, he felt that, The Weeknd didn't want to be signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to another nigga and another nigga, then Universal, okay? So basically, Drake brought OVO to Warner Brothers Entertainment, okay, which is a completely different company than Cash Money. Now, supposedly that was supposed to appease The Weeknd and get him signed. Instead, The Weeknd did not sign with Drake. And remember, Drake is the one that brought him around and kind of gave him the exposure on the album. The Weeknd actually signed to somewhere else. Because of that, they kind of fell out, okay? Now, in 2013, he did an interview. And he said these things, okay? He said, and by the way, I'm reading from a Rolling Stone article, came out today, but it's quoting an interview done 2 years ago. He said, I was hungry. I was like, dude, take anything. And pretty much they're saying Drake, who was his closest friend at the time, he says, I gave up almost half of my album. It's hard. I will always be thankful. If it wasn't for the light he shined on me, who knows where I'd be, and everything happens for a reason. You never know what I would say if this success wasn't in front of me now. Okay, so pretty much Drake gave him a lot of exposure, but a lot of people was then criticizing him for falling out with Drake and not signing to Drake. People thought it was like a what's the girl name that was with Wale? I can't remember her name, but she had the song Bad, and then pretty much Wale jumped on the song. Now she got big, and pretty much she did not rock with Wale. She rocked with Rico Love, and everybody called her disloyal. Now, rather than calling The Weeknd, well, actually people call The Weeknd disloyal without understanding his reasons of why he didn't sign with Drake. Now, in hindsight, a lot of people are looking at it now and saying, damn, after seeing Quentin Miller and hearing about all these different people who Drake has quote-unquote took the wave from or rode their wave, would The Weeknd be the next like Quentin Miller, be the first Quentin Miller had he signed? Would The Weeknd be as big as he is now had he signed? Would Drake have just used up The Weeknd's like whole flow and his whole sauce and his whole movement until it was obsolete and then just toss him in the bushes and move to the next one? So that's what a lot of people are wondering now. And I'm saying these are comments that are 2 years old, but now people find them relevant because people are looking around, and we got to think about this. Just think about this for a second. What Meek Mill did too, right? Meek Mill lost the battle. He might have sacrificed his career, but he he definitely tarnished the legacy of Drake because people right now are trying to go back in history, trying to figure out what's going on. Now, Drake real fans know that Take Care was a product of The Weeknd and Drake, but to many Drake fans who have caught on during the years, they thought that all the past works were just Drake. He was just so that good, okay? But a lot of people right now are realizing he had help. Okay, and some people, they're shocked to the point that they're disgusted, and some people are saying, damn, another one. So you guys get in the comment box. It's not a big deal to me. I've known this for a couple of years, but a lot of people are finding out today. Rolling Stone republished these comments, and people are a little bit freaked out. Okay, now, is it a problem, right? I mean, the game supposedly received about 6 songs from 50 Cent. It didn't make the game less of a rapper to me. But it did definitely tell me that he couldn't make songs without 50 Cent because he's never had those commercially successful songs without the songs that 50 Cent gave him. So I kind of understand that, but the game is a pretty good rapper. Drake received half of what I think is his best album from another guy and then pretty much used it and put it out. And hey, we are where we are now. Okay, what do you guys think about it? If you don't think anything about it, to me it's not a big deal, but to a lot of people it's a new revelation. You're going to see it all over the blogs today just because people are shocked and they don't really keep in tune with what's going on. So something like this could come out of the blue and they're like, wow, this happened? Yes, it did. Get in the comment box, make sure you guys like, definitely subscribe to Akademiks. I'm out.